Has cold and flu season arrived for your family yet? I woke up this morning with the first tickle of the fall and winter season in my throat, and I can tell that I am trying to get sick. And so I immediately grabbed my camera because I thought this is a perfect opportunity to show you exactly what I do when I feel that first hint that sickness is coming on. How do we nip it before it causes problems? Now, I've told you my health story, how I struggled with Lyme disease for years and years and years, and herbs helped me to get well. So, of course, I'm going to turn to my herb shelf today since I'm feeling under the weather because I know this works. And I'm going to show you the exact blend that I go to every time I'm sick. And this blend knocks it out. Now, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor, but I am an herbalist and I'm showing what works for me. As always, talk to your healthcare provider and use caution. Make sure nothing interacts with any pharmaceuticals you're taking. But let me show you what I rely on when I'm feeling under the weather. And we call this one Flu Balm Tea. So over the last few weeks, Flu Balm Tea has been flying off the shelf in my little shop. It seems like everybody's looking for some relief from colds and flu. We're starting early this season. And you can see my jar is fairly low, so we're going to refill it together. I need to mix a whole new batch of Flu Balm, and I need to drink a cup of it myself. So I've got my mixing bowl here, and we are going to mix it together. So the first ingredient in Flu Balm Tea is Echinacea. No surprise there. Echinacea is an herb that is wonderful for immune support. And so Echinacea is going to go to work to prevent something mild and viral from turning into a massive infection. And so, sometimes your allergies can flare up this time of year and you get a little, kind of sneezy, sniffly, wheezy, and then it turns into bronchitis or a sinus infection. Echinacea heads that off and kind of gives your body some support to prevent it from becoming something way more problematic. So this is the main ingredient in my Flu Balm Tea. So we're going to start, and you guys, I do not measure. A lot of times you guys will ask me, can you give me exact measurements? I do proportions, okay? So we're going to have our main herbs that bring the main effects, and then we're going to have some herbs that bring boost, some secondary herbs, you could say. So we're going to do almost like 2 parts of our primary herbs and then 1 part of our secondary herbs. Echinacea is definitely primary, so we're going to do a hefty dose of Echinacea in our bowl today. And I really like the way Echinacea smells. You want Echinacea purpurea for this, or purple coneflower. And yes, this is the same Echinacea that I used for my cat when she was dealing with cancer. This is the same Echinacea we rely on for all kinds of things. And it's just a good one to keep on hand in your home apothecary. Next, the second ingredient is mullein. Now, mullein is a superstar for any sort of respiratory illness. Mullein is a natural expectorant, okay? Think Mucinex. It's going to break the congestion up and help you get it out. Mullein's best known for helping with coughs, with bronchitis, with things in the lungs. And for me, a cold loves to settle in the lungs, so I always include a little mullein. Again, this is a primary herb in this recipe, so I'm going to use 2 parts. So for instance, I'm probably doing about 2 cups. A part would be a cup. 2 cups Echinacea, 2 cups of mullein. And that gives us our base for immunity and for lung support. Next, we're going to grab Tulsi. Now, Tulsi is so good for all kinds of things. We've talked about this one before, but in this case, Tulsi is a balancer, and it is also antimicrobial. So it's going to help fight off whatever bad bugs got me in this condition where I'm having this little sore throat and tickle in my ear. So I'm also going to do 2 parts of Tulsi, about 2 cups. All right. And remember, Tulsi is used all over the world. It's really revered as a sacred herb. Helps with so many different things, and most of my blends include Tulsi because it helps with almost anything. All right, let's pull some of the secondary herbs, and we're going to do one part of these herbs, so 1 cup. First is nettles. Now, nettles or stinging nettles, these can be foraged. They're readily available in the wild, but nettles bring a ton of minerals and vitamins, and so it's sort of the closest thing in herbal form to a multivitamin. If you do a cup of nettle tea, it's just so full of good stuff. So we're going to add about a cup of nettles to our mix, and this is just going to bring some good mineral and vitamin support to our Flue Balm tea. So there's our nettles. They smell good too. They smell really green, and you expect it to taste maybe a little grassy, but it doesn't. It's got like this nice, pleasant, earthy undertone. I actually really like the taste of nettle tea. Next, we grab my personal favorite herb, lemon balm. Lemon balm in this case is working in Flue Balm because it's antiviral. And in this case, we don't know what's causing all of this, so we're going to hit it with antimicrobial from Tulsi, antibacterial with Echinacea, and antiviral with lemon balm. Now you're starting to see why Flue Balm really works for about any kind of sickness. It's got something in there to hit it. So we're going to do a cup of lemon balm to our mix. It smells so good. You guys, I think I could just take a bath in lemon balm. Oh, so good. Okay, so to recap, we have added Echinacea, we have added nettles, we've done Tulsi, we've done Mullein, and we've done lemon balm, but we're not done yet. Next, we are going to add hibiscus. This is one of my favorites, Roselle hibiscus. I grow this, and oh, it smells so good. Some people call this the Florida cranberry. This grows a lot in Florida, and it has a cranberry-like taste, kind of sweet, kind of tart. And the reason I'm adding hibiscus to my Flue Balm is because hibiscus, number one, comes in with super high antioxidants. It's high in vitamin C, better than taking vitamin C supplements. Take some hibiscus tea. And it also brings some liver support. And anytime you're fighting something off, your body can use that little extra detox support for the liver. And hibiscus comes in like a sweet little tart friend and brings you the vitamin C and the antioxidants. And it gives a little pop of flavor to our tea, which is really nice. So I'm going to add about a cup of that. This is a pretty major tea. It's got a lot of ingredients, and we're still not done. We've got 2 more to add. All right, our next ingredient, I'm actually not going to pull from my jars because I just foraged and dried this over the weekend. This is Goldenrod. Now, Goldenrod can be a bit controversial, to tell you the truth. A lot of people blame fall sniffles and sneezing on goldenrod. In most cases, goldenrod is not the problem, it's ragweed. And goldenrod and ragweed grow side by side. Normally, if you find one, you'll find the other. I am very allergic to ragweed. I'm one of those people that every time it blooms, I will get sick. And I will start to have like respiratory stuff, and before I started using herbs, no joke, I got pneumonia like clockwork every August or September when the ragweed would bloom. Every year for like 7 or 8 years, I would get pneumonia. And I mean, it would be bad pneumonia where I would be sick for 4 to 6 weeks. And when I discovered goldenrod, I've never had pneumonia again. It's really helped me. So I'm going to add about a cup of goldenrod flowers. These are already dried, and I'm just going to kind of strip them from their stems. The flowers get a little bit fluffy when you dry them, and so it looks a bit like confetti in your tea. It blends in. You're not going to see a lot of the yellow in the tea. But this really, really takes it up a notch in terms of effect, because a lot of times our illnesses this time of year in the fall or the winter are coming from allergies. That's sort of the root of a lot of it for a lot of people. And so if we can hit whatever that allergy is in our blend, you'll feel better a whole lot faster. And I know for me, ragweed is it, and for a lot of you, ragweed is it. And so this blend is going to be helpful for that. So we're adding the goldenrod, and here's how we're looking so far. It's almost full. Last ingredient, and this one is one you cannot skip because it's so important, and it's what makes Flu Balm really bring you some relief. I mean, this stuff will immediately start to make you feel a little better, and that is peppermint. Such a simple ingredient, but it is so good for cold and flu. And by adding some peppermint, we're going to add some cooling properties to this tea. So it's going to feel icy, it's going to soothe the throat, and it's going to have almost that mentholated type effect, which is really great for coughing. So we're going to add about a cup of peppermint to our tea. And if you love the peppermint flavor, you can go heavy and you can add 2 cups. Totally up to you. You could also switch this out for spearmint if you prefer spearmint. But peppermint is sort of our favorite in this blend. So here's our bowl. It's very full. So we're going to mix this together. But before I mix it, I'm going to grab my gloves. We're going to glove up because this is a lot of Flu Balm. We're going to refill our jar, and I'm hoping that I can actually send some of this Flu Balm to you. So this is one of the teas that I am stocking in my online herb shop that we opened a couple weeks ago. And all of my herbs that I'm selling are organic. They're either grown here on my little North Carolina farm, or I'm sourcing them from other organic farms. And these are the herbs that I personally use when I help my local friends and family. When people come to my little apothecary and they're sick and they need a remedy, these are the herbs I use. And Flu Balm is by far the thing I sell the most of in the wintertime. It's sort of developed a reputation among my friends and family because they know it works. So how do you take it? So you're gonna take up to 5 cups of tea a day. It's really up to you and how you're feeling. You can even, if you're real sick and the tea is not enough, you can make a tincture out of these herbs and do a Flu Balm tincture. So what you would do is mix it just like this, maybe a smaller quantity, but you're going to mix your herbs, and then you're going to put them in a jar and cover them in vodka and let it sit for 4 to 6 weeks at least. I usually let mine go more like 8 weeks. And then you're going to strain it out, and the liquid that is left is going to be full of a very concentrated form of all the benefits that are in this bowl in your herbal blend. And so if you're not a big tea drinker and you're like, oh, I just don't really want to be drinking a bunch of tea, you can take a tincture. And if you do it in tincture form, you're going to take 5 drops under the tongue 4 to 5 times a day until you feel better. And if you hate taking tinctures as a drop under the tongue, you can put it in a cup of juice and just drink it. You'll get a stronger effect if you put it directly under your tongue, but some people just really prefer it in juice. They don't like the taste. It's a bit strong. So up to you. Either way works. You just may need to take a little more of it if you put it in the juice. But you can grab a bag of Flu Balm in our shop. I will link it in the description below, or you can buy the herbs to make Flu Balm and you can mix your own batch. But let's make a cup together because I need a cup of this to drink before I pack it in my jar because my throat's hurting from all this talking. So let's make a cup of tea together. First thing we're going to need is just a good mug. You know I love a good pottery mug. Matter of fact, I'm on a mission to find us some really pretty handmade pottery mugs to add to the shop. So if you have a recommendation, leave it in the comments for me. I've been getting samples and talking to some potters and trying to find a really good match. So you can do this a few ways. You could use a tea ball infuser. You could put this in a French press and then pour your water over the top of it. Or you can use like an infuser cup. Couldn't find my words. You can use an infuser cup like this. It's got teeny tiny little holes. And if you use one like this, you put your herbs in the cup, put the cup in the mug, and pour your hot water over the top. And then you want to let this steep, and it's best to cover your mug when you're making a medicinal tea because all the volatile oils in the tea are going to start to come up as it steams, and you want to keep that trapped in the cup, all that good stuff. So if you don't have a lid for your mug, just set a little saucer or plate over it and let it infuse for 5 to 10 minutes, depending how strong you want your tea. So you want to use about a teaspoon of loose leaf tea per cup. If you want it strong, you can do a tablespoon. That's about what I'm going to do, is probably a tablespoon. Put a few pinches there in my cup. I'm going to set it down here. And then I love having an electric tea kettle. It is like one of the most time-saving hacks, because if you drink a lot of tea, it can at times be time-consuming to go put a kettle on the stove and babysit it. So I have an electric teapot and it works wonderfully. And you can fill it up with quite a bit of water and it'll keep it warm so we can sip it all day. So we're just going to pour our hot water over those herbs. And I'm going to grab something to cover it. You know what we'll do? We're just going to set our whole tea ball over it. How about that? We'll put the bowl on it to cover it. So we're going to let those herbs steep for a few minutes, and then I'm going to drink that cup of tea. I can already taste it. It smells so good in here just from mixing the herbs. So I want to encourage you, before sickness hits your family, stock your apothecary. You know, the whole point of collecting herbs and building an apothecary in your home is so when you wake up and your throat has that little tickle and your nose is running and you just can feel it coming, you can beat this before it starts. You'll notice I've also got my fire cider out here. It's been infusing for a month. I like to let it go 6 weeks, but I am absolutely going to take some of this today as well. And I'll probably just take a tablespoon, maybe 3 times today, and get those effects in as well. And I'll link that fire cider video for you if you missed it. We made this together and it is a great remedy for cold and flu as well. So now you've got 2 things in your arsenal. You have fire cider and flu balm tea, so there is no excuse for you to spend all winter sick. Instead, embrace herbs, and I would love to send you some. So visit my shop, grab a bag of flu balm tea. I'll show you what it looks like. This is how it comes to you. Each bag in my shop contains 2 cups of loose leaf, and I don't do it by weight. I do it by measurement because each herb weighs a little bit differently. So to keep it even and fair, and so you'll know what you're getting, each bag has 2 cups of loose leaf tea in it, which should be enough for around 30 cups of tea if you're using a teaspoon per cup. So a month's worth of tea, and you can grab it at my shop. Make some flu balm, take care of your family, stay well this winter, and remember, God has made plants to heal any illness out there. I am so convinced that there is a plant for every possible disease. We just haven't figured them all out yet. But the more I learn, the more I worship our kind and loving God who gives us everything we need already out there in nature, and we just have to learn to use it. So stick around, come back next week, and we will keep learning to use all the herbs that God has given us for health and healing. God bless you, friends.